Hey everyone, sorry for my absence, but I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 15 and dealing with some glitches. Hilarious as they might be, it's still addicting, and I'm sure Square Enix will eventually fix those bugs. Now, I have heard of the glitches happening, but in my personal experience, it's not common, but it eventually did happen, and it was hilarious. But anyway, special little announcement. Today is my birthday. I still don't feel like I'm a year older. I just realized when I was like, woke up, brushed my teeth, hopped out of the shower, I'm just like, oh, I'm older now. But anyway, today's topic is going to be about upcoming games that I'm personally interested in. I do have, birthday and Christmas money in my possession, and I want to know what particular of these three games I should get on day one, or should I wait on any? Perhaps you guys can help me decide. I have Tales of Berseria. I hope I said that right. I haven't had a lot of people pronounce it for me. But the Tales series has been a JRPG series that doesn't really disappoint me. They have really great hit after hit after hit. I think only the sequels of Tales games that have come out have been kind of meh, like with Tales of Symphonia, Dawn of a New World. I enjoyed it still, got to get used to the Wii controls. Tales of Symphonia, Dawn of a New World, it was enjoyable for me still, not as good as the original. Same thing with the other sequel, Tales of Xillia, I think I said that right too. It was still fun. I'm glad I got to see some of my favorite characters return, and I wasn't enjoying it as much as the first one. The first one just seemed flawless. Like, it was kind of here by my favorite Tales game ever, which was Symphonia. Vesperia is a close third, and I think it will probably grow on me as time goes on, and I'll probably just put Xillia on top of Symphonia because I just loved it that much, if you can see from that. And speaking of which, the Tales of Berseria is going to have a sole female protagonist, and I know Mila was the female protagonist for Tales of Xillia. She was a co-protagonist with another character named Jude, and she just got really popular, and that kind of influenced the developers for the next Tales game to say, let's go ahead and run with that, because there was a lot of demand, particularly from here in the West, saying that we would like a female protagonist, a sole one, instead of just a co-one like Mila was. So I read about it to see what to expect. I didn't want to read too much of it because I don't want to say any particular spoilers to set up. I like to be introduced to the world after I load the game in. I don't want to be introduced through text in a web page. So apparently Tales of Berseria takes place in the same world as Tales of Zestiria, which I played last year and enjoyed the hell out of. I even got to meet the voice actors who are from the game, some from previous years, and Kira Buckland, who voices my favorite character, Edna. She came here to San Japan last year, and I'm following her on Twitter. We interact regularly, especially among cats. And speaking of which, follow me on Twitter. I post there just about almost every day, some random stuff, and what's going on with my channel. You'll get to see all the photos that you may not be aware of people I've met, or things I'm working on right now, or in the future. But anyway, back on topic. Tales of Berseria takes place roughly a century before Zestiria, and they did say there are some references to Zestiria, and I can't wait to see what they are. Zestiria was right below Xillia among my favorites. Now, one trend I have noticed with the Tales games when they get released here in the West is when they come out, they're full priced at $60, and then a few months later they get a drop in price by like 10 or 20 bucks. So I know that, but I'm not sure if I want to wait that long. The game comes out January 24th, which I believe is next week, and out of the other games that I mentioned that I want to probably pick up, Resident Evil 7 also comes out on January 24th. Now Resident Evil 7 is a completely new take on the series. They're trying so many new stuff. One of them is the game's going to be in first person, new cast, new area. It's going to be in Louisiana. It takes place in 2017, and I just want to know if this is going to be good, because I did read that some returning core elements like puzzles, more focus on horror, is going to be returning. I want to say that Capcom learned their lesson after they heard what we had to say when they released Resident Evil 6. We said, go back to horror. Here's Resident Evil 6. Why is the street exploding? We're just tired of it. I know you're trying to make Call of Duty numbers, but not everything has to be action-oriented, especially when you're dealing with a series that was known for propelling a video game genre back in the 90s. It was known for that. Go back to that, and it seems, based on what we saw from the demos and what we've read online, it's finally happening. All we have to do now is wait till next week and find out if that's actually the case. And finally, coming out on April 4th, Persona 5. In all of its HD glory, I hear it's going to be retaining its turn-based gameplay system, which for me is a good thing. There's not a lot of RPGs that are being released in this day and age that are turn-based, with the exception of maybe indie games. But mainstream games are now going to more real-time battle systems. And that can be good, considering you always have to think on your feet and make it feel like you're actually in a battle, as opposed to saying, I'm just going to hit X while I spam and go to the bathroom. Which I did when I played Final Fantasy VII, and I hit the lucky 7s with Sid, and he just kept continuing to strike and strike and strike an enemy with 777 damage being dealt. And I'm just like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. Come back, of course, the win screen is there. But anyway, back to Persona 5. This time it's taking place in a real-life city, Tokyo, and not a fictional one like Inaba from Persona 4. They're going to be giving more details to the character animation in the anime cutscenes. And for the gameplay cutscenes, it's still going to be detailed, but not as semi-deformed as it was in Persona 4. It's since the hardware is now capable of exhibiting that type of art style, something greater than that. So that's a step up. I like to see that, and I heard that some of the personas that the character's going to be using are from outlaws or heroes. Curious who's going to pop out. Imagine like saying, "Go Butch Cassidy! Go Jesse James!" and Meowth. Of course, every persona seems to have an anthropomorphic animal mascot. So this time we have a cat instead of a bear or Kuma. So maybe we'll see something interesting with that. I'm looking forward to that. I know for damn sure when Persona 5 comes out, I'm dropping everything and picking that up day one. Persona is also a series that has rarely disappointed me like the Tales games has. I have no cautions. I've looked up what other people have said. I'm not hearing a lot of bad stuff about it. It's highly anticipated. It takes me back to the days of gaming when we didn't have a whole lot to worry about with mainstream AAA titles. And now it seems like they've done it so much they're trying to go beyond sales projections that are outrageous even for today's day and age. But luckily, they've toned it down a bit. And like I mentioned earlier, for Resident Evil 7, they're projecting 4 million instead of like 10 million. So that is a bit ridiculous. Not every game can be a Final Fantasy VII and reach those sales projections. But in the meantime, I like what I've seen. I have some interesting choices to spend my birthday money on. What do you guys think I should do? Should I get all three? But it'll probably take a while. Like I said, I'm not going to get all of them on day one. And I know for sure, for the exception of Persona 5. But what are your thoughts on the other two, Resident Evil 7 and Tales of Berseria? should I wait on either one of those games? Because they come out at the same day. Which one should I get first? Let me know. If not, then I'll probably just flip a coin or something, because the coin never lies. In the meantime, this is Dan. I have no objections to any of the hypes revolving around these games that I have chosen.